Hello everyone, welcome back to Gaming with Shoggoths. We are going to be filling in some empty spaces here in the sort of entrance area of Zaluki Park in Prehistoric Kingdom. And so that's what this video is going to focus on. And remember, if you haven't done so yet, you can go vote on which sauropod will be the next one that I build for. Or actually, I should say the first one I build for in this park. The poll will be going for a little while. You can find it under my community tab. It's probably going to go for like a week or two. It won't be the very next video that I do for Prehistoric Kingdom, but it will probably be there in the next like 2 or 3 videos that get posted for this park. I've got a couple other areas that I want to finish up first, and then we will build ourselves a sauropod enclosure with the sauropod that you all have chosen. So right now we're doing kind of like a tropical area. I used the prefab towers that kind of have a tropical look. It goes really nicely with this tropical side of the Para enclosure. And then I'm building a Para Apparel instead of an Apado Apparel. It's getting like into tongue twister territory here. But this is going to be like a now I'm twisting my own tongue. A Para Apparel shop instead of the Apado Apparel. We're just going to do that same sort of play on words kind of thing that they did, except with a different dinosaur. So we're going to build this little shop, and then there's also, you can see back there, like a restroom, and I'm going to change that prefab around so it has a more tropical look. It'll almost, it'll be sort of reminiscent of the ones from Jurassic Park variants, I should say, Jurassic Park variants in like Jurassic World and all that kind of stuff. See here, we're doing that right now, and all I'm doing is just changing like the pattern, the colors and stuff like that. But and a couple of the like these metal posts I'm gonna turn into like bamboo. But other than that, like, I'm keeping it the same. I'm just kind of giving it a different look to fit in better with this area. Then we're going to throw some plants down. I'm going to make a cool walkway and make my own tiki torches. There's probably a better way to do it than what I did, but it was just kind of a quick thought all of a sudden, so I made them. But this is, I felt like since the wetland side of the now I'm saying Apara. Wow. The wetland side of the Parasaurolophus enclosure had that nice big viewing area. I thought that the tropical side should have something like that as well, and it is, tall enough that it can see over those fences and the trees and everything. I really love, I know I probably say that, I think I say this every video. I love the plant brushes. I love that even after you use the brush, you can select them and individually delete plants that, poke through things. Like, that's such a great feature, and I really like that pretty much everything you do, even if it's a group function, you can select it, hit edit group, then select all, and you should be able to, or not select all, sorry. If you just hit edit group, you should be able to like delete even paintbrushed on like plants and stuff like that. And it's such a great feature. Because then you don't have to be as precise, and you can just delete those, that get in the way, and it allows you to get up next to buildings and stuff without worrying about just having to delete all of it because you painted into the building or whatever. It's the little things. I feel like, it really is the little things that make, a game better than another in those sorts of aspects. So we're just going to, I think, put some windows in here, or some windows or some mesh. Something like that. Get a little more light flow. And while you're in here and shopping, you can have a beautiful view of the plants and the back of the restroom. Well, the plants are beautiful anyways. This is kind of our little cabana tiki shop here. I like that we can, use different elements to build our own shops, but I wish there were some more bits and pieces. I really should have used that other one. I don't know why I didn't. The color scheme is so much better on that one. I think I meant to put one of each in here because it's 2 different stores. One's the Apatosaur, or the Para Apparel, and the other one's like the Giga. It's a Giganotosaurus, but I'm not sure what it's called. It might be Giganto something or other. I don't know. But it's supposed to be a Giga shop. Themed shop. Alright, from this point on, we are going to kind of have some additions of the new decorations that just came out in the last update. I actually, this area looked a little bit different than it's going to look in this video. Like, the end result is what you'll see right now. But I originally had it a different way, and then these new decorations came out, so I decided to use them instead. So I did a little last minute changing it up, which is what you're seeing now. Like, this won't be different than the final product. This is the building of the final product. You will never see and never know what it looked like beforehand. Which, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. Yes, I know I spelt apparel wrong. I am aware of it, and I fix it in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm a terrible speller, but I know how to spell apparel, but I just wasn't paying attention. It's all those A's and the P's. I'm surprised that R is not a P. You know, sometimes I pick the wrong letters and stuff when I'm making signs, but yes, I know that I spelled apparel incorrectly, and it will get fixed. Alright, so this is one of the new tea torches from the update, and I kind of wanted it to be like people size, a little bit bigger. They are kind of thin, I guess. I know, that's the best way I can think of it. Like, they're kind of thin and small, so I wanted it just a little bit bigger, and it's nice. You can change the size of them if you want. So they put off a really nice glow, especially now with the new kind of lighting improvements. I had a different torch that I made myself here originally. Oh, see, I told you I'd fix it. But yeah, I had a different torch originally in this area, and actually you can see it in that footage right there. Those are the old torches that I made myself, and you'll see them in a different park later. Yeah, this is like some older footage before I decided to change it with some of the new things, but the light like looked really good from the fire, but like now I think it looks way better, and it's very much improved, and it's a nice soft glow instead of like this bright orange glare. That was also some of the old torches. Those are actually going to stay. You'll see those in the final video. I just use them to put some light along the paths, kind of give that fence a little bit of a tropical look, and keep with the theme. So this is over by the Smilodon area. Yes, this area that has been open ever since pretty much the second episode of this this build, and we're finally gonna fill it in. We're making like an awning section over here, and then we will move on and make a little snack shack for the Smilodons, a Smilodon snack shack, and some seating areas and stuff like that. Alright, so right here we're going to build another little dome. It's going to be a little brick dome, and it's going to have several eating shops. This is kind of like, you know, one big kiosk sort of food court thing, except instead of the food court being on the inside of the building, it's going to be on the outside of the building, and it's going to have bathrooms too as well, and it'll just be this little shack right here. Although I'm not sure if a brick qualifies as shack. I'm not sure what the technical terms are. And we're gonna have some venting up here for the poor employees so they don't die in the brick shack. We're gonna just pop some walls out so that way we can put in the kiosks. We're gonna make kind of a little overhang first, and we're gonna have all 4 of the restaurant shops available here. This is sort of like a reverse version of something that's at a local zoo here where I live. It's a big circle with like a food court in it, but the restaurants are like on the inside of the building instead of the outside of the building. But so I'm just kind of doing the reverse, and I am going to turn this building around eventually once I get it done, I think. I didn't do anything on the inside, so you can kind of like, if you go around, you can see like the spaces in between. But I figured that's how the employees would walk between them anyways. Like, otherwise I'd be jumping over the counter to get places and stuff like that. So I'll just get some chairs down. And then this is going to be our staff entrance. Honestly, now that I look at it, I should have just left it big. It almost looked better big like that. And then we're going to get 2 of these fancy little doors for our restrooms. Both of them are gender neutral. Use whichever one you want. These, for whatever reason, those pillars were really unaligned. I had to go back and like fix a whole bunch of them later because they just were not lining up properly. And it's probably my own fault. I probably just wasn't paying attention enough. So we got a bunch of like, we just put out a bunch of prefab seats and tables with the awnings and stuff like that. And prefab tree decorations. These prefabs are really nice. I like all of these. Like the ones that came out with the last update to beta plus the early access ones are really cool. Now, when we first started this build, I had a whole bunch of, you know, like big rectangular planters and all that kind of stuff. And I did that because, you know, at the time there was nothing else going on and I wanted, you know, we needed to have some decorations and stuff like that. But I feel like now with all this other stuff here and all these enclosures and all these other plants and everything, it felt really crowded. So I did, I deleted all that stuff that went up and down the walkway and I've just added some smaller decorations so it's not so crowded. All right, and this is going to lead us into our final walkthrough. As you can see already starting off, there are some details and signs and stuff that I have made that I didn't show in the video, but that's because I was just sort of playing around with things and ended up liking it. So I kept them. We'll take another look at them, I think, around the corner. But yeah, I wanted to add more signs to places where I didn't have signs and just kind of work on my sign making. I really like that kind of faded paint wood that came out in the new update. It's really neat. I'll probably use it a lot. So this is now what it looks like without the rectangle planters there. And I think it like I said earlier, it just feels less crowded and I like that better. So here's our fence over there. You can see with the torches. I'll show you what all that looks like at night. I kind of changed the Smilodon signs around a little bit, just a tiny bit. Just added those little cutout Smilodons, and then I stuck a Smilodon on top of that, on top of the restaurant as well. And this is our Smilodon snack shack that apparently is sunk into the ground a little bit. I think I need to pull that up. We've got our restrooms and our staff entrance. Some of these beautiful, very convenient and lovely prefabs. And then this nice little area to come watch the Smilodons walk awkwardly on rocks. I mean, I guess that's kind of my bad. Although I hope in the future that's the kind of thing that will improve with the movements of the animals. I hope that they will be able to handle uneven terrain a little bit better. But I probably should have put less rocks in there. I did kind of just fill in other places too, like that, you know, both sides, both the boreal and the tropical side. Now this part over here, if you've been wondering what this viewing gallery at the end of the path is for, I put it there just so the path didn't just end because I didn't have any ideas for it at the time. But this space here with all these plants in it that are just kind of thrown there is also kind of like a placeholder. I want to have like a boat tour that goes along this river that's in this park. It's one of the reasons why I picked the park is because I liked the pre-made river that was already there. So I wanted to do a boat ride. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either make a dock and a boat and like a ticket counter over in this planty area, or I'll use like prefabs and just edit them. But that'll be in the future, you know, but I'll have like different boat stops like along the river all throughout the park. But I'm going to wait until I have like more areas done so I can kind of see where you would want to stop on the boat ride. and things like that. So for right now, that's all just kind of placeholder. And then as things come together with that, hopefully I can do more with the boat tour. This is our Para Apparel. It's forever going to be a tongue twister. My brain just doesn't like it. But see what I mean? Like, the lights look really nice. And before, when I had like the torches here, it looked nice, but it was also like really glaring. And it was weird because like you'd have all this light, and then like the area that wasn't lit up, like where the paras are, was like pitch dark and you couldn't see anything. But now with kind of like the new lighting, you can actually see what's going on over there. This is like midnight or something like that. But you can see what's going on in the enclosure without the light being glaring, or without the light like blocking, you know, like your ability to see in there. But previously, the Para's enclosure was like pitch dark. You couldn't see them. You could barely see them when they were like right at your face. So I think the lighting is very much improved with the new update. Very happy about that. Sorry if the view is really wonky, but the we don't really have a first person view with this, so it can be kind of difficult to show everything off. There's our Smilodon plant up there. But yeah, so that is the park as it stands. Kind of like this whole front entrance area is now complete. We're gonna skip over the river probably here soon and work on that enclosure you've been seeing forever. I do have like this maintenance area to do in the back, and that'll be something I kind of do when I have the time. It's not quite as entertaining to watch as like doing like animal enclosures and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate you checking it out. This guy has been on top of that thing forever now. I don't know what he's doing up there. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, please do leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will be back with more Prehistoric Kingdom real soon. Until then, have a good one.